G'day YouTube, my name's Lance. Welcome to Bundy Bear's shed. Well, the weather report. Look, it's hot and humid. Look, it's not so hot, it's only 32 degrees, but the humidity in the morning here is 71% and it'll rise through the day. And but with that, there's been a few storms hanging around. Friday evening we got an inch of rain, or 25 mil, and I think Friday and Saturday, Saturday we got 27, I believe. So Sunday yesterday we didn't get any. Yeah, you sweat just thinking about work. Nothing new there for me. But yeah, hot and muggy, but I'm actually having trouble in the shed recording because of the shed creaking and the clouds coming out and going back and forth and going from there. But look, we've had a good week. Through the week I got the videos done of the valve lapping tool restoration. Yeah, that's the way she goes. But yeah, look, that come up nice. I put out part 2 this morning, Monday, and I'll have part 3 out, look, in the next day or so. Yeah, it's just a nice little tool, and I really enjoyed doing that. It took me away from the tractors and all that for a while, giving me something else to think about. The sound quality on those videos isn't much good. For some reason, like I'm using the mic, I've just gone through the recording system, making sure it looks like it's recording, and it does, and it looked like that the other day, but when I got to the card it wasn't even registered that the files were there. So we're going to try again with the stew. If not, it'll just be the sound off the camera there, which most of the other stew was about. But in the editing software, we've actually got a thing where we can take wind noise out and we can take ambient cracks and crinkles out, but you can't take them all out. You can't have 2 or 3 things coming in at once. So, but anyway, yeah, the sound's a bit average on it, but look, they're short videos, so you haven't got to listen to it for hours. You can see me wiping my face, I'm bloody sweating a bit. But anyway, that's just how it is in summer in Queensland. Look, I've been shopping. I've just had a week where all sorts of stuff turned up. Now, I'd like to show you this, and Plasma Dave will probably be interested in this. He may have even made it, who knows. And there's a little Ferguson TE20 key ring. Now, it's got the hooks for the keys. Now, my young bloke Tim, his Mrs. Ellie, her mother, so it's Tim's mother-in-law, gave me that for Christmas. And it's got little holes where I can screw it into the wall and where I can stick it onto something. So Plasma Dave made me a Queensland Tractor Spares one of these ages ago. It's up at the house. So this one here being black, and some of the shelving that I haven't finished yet along the wall of my bench there, I might put that there and just hang the forklift keys and the tractor keys on it. Yeah, it's just a nice little thing. When you look at it for a little TE20, she's a pretty good representation. So whoever done it. So yeah, great little thing. I enjoyed that. Last week, we're talking about in the tool file, in the video about the Massey Ferguson genuine tools I got, we were talking about the crackle paint or the wrinkle paint on the valve, on the ring gap grinder, I suppose you would call it. And a few people said about cobalt paint and all that sort of thing, but I did a bit of homework on it, and what I come up with was the local Repco had it. Its part number is WP201, and it's Duplicolor wrinkle finish. And look, I read a heap of reviews on it, and it's got quite a process to putting it on. And the process is making sure it's very clean, but then heating it up to 60 degrees C. And yeah, the fellas that were doing it on rocker covers, on some V8s and that, they had little Google reviews, I suppose, this is what I'm looking for, on it. And they said, look, if you took your time, did it properly, cleaned it again, wiped it with thinners and got the heat gun and just heated it up before you put it on, Some of them have had great, like a great finish with this stuff. So it's about 25 bucks a tin at Repco thereabouts. And so I popped into Repco and I got some. And when we come to the valve, I keep saying valve, to the ring grinder, little hand ring grinder, the Cox head ring grinder, I'm going to try that out and we'll clean the housing. You know, we have a bead blaster here to clean everything, and you know, we can spray thinners on it and you know, make sure there's no grease at all on it. So I'll be interested to try that. I've never done that before, so when I come to the series about that, this I just put into 3 15-minute videos, probably about 15 minutes each roughly, and look, that's come up nice. I'm going to spray that now with some of the CRC rust deterrent, and yeah, just so this shaft doesn't rust and that from me handling it and playing with it. But look, that's come up nice. I'm enjoying playing with that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it now. I haven't really got a job for it. I just liked it. Yeah, the Cox head ring grinder, it'll be next. I imagine, look, there's hardly any moving parts, but I notice I do have to make some screws in the lathe, so that might be a little bit of lathe work, a little bit of milling work just to make 2 screws rather than buy them. So we'll see. Make up my mind when I get there. All right, I've got all sorts of stuff here. A while ago, I bought off eBay. Look, it's the die holders. It's a full kit of die holders, and they came out of India, and it does 4 different size dies. And what they were saying was that they had a metric kit. It's a number 3 Morse taper to go on my lathe, and they supply you with a little pin in this piece here, so you put your die in here and you feed it up to the end of your job, and then once the die takes over, it just pulls itself in there, and the bolt there stops it turning. But they had a pin that you had to knock in, then knock out each time you wanted to change this, and I thought I didn't like that idea, so I've just put a stainless bolt in there. It's a bolt that I had that fits, and that'll stop it from turning, and I can change the ends quickly. But they had in their ad metric dies and imperial dies, so I sent them a thing and I said, oh, send me the things for both, and they come back and said, oh no, we've only got imperial at the moment. So I was all right, just send me that. So we did that. Well, I've gone through my die kits. I've got some of the KC tools tap and die sets. I've got a Sutton button dies and all that, and I can't measure any difference in the outside of the dies, so I think that might be a bit of bullshit goes on. You know, if you're in Australia and they think you're metric, you'll buy the metric one and it's the exact same tool. And if you're in America and you buy the imperial one, exact same bloody tool. What I don't like about some of these is they have a lot of the dies have a split in them that you can spread them, and that the better quality ones, and 2 fixture dies, screws. But when you do these, it pops it off centre just a little bit, but then you do have a little bit of float there that would take that up. So, you know, I did have a different sort of one of these, but it was a number 2 Morse taper, and I don't know, it was just a shit thing really. I never liked it, and I mightn't like this, but I thought I'd buy it and give it a go. I've had this for, well, I bought it months ago and it only just turned up last week, so it's Torrens brand on it. It's been etched in there. And look, it does look like it's nicely ground and everything. But anyway, just something I decided to do. Sometimes just to pop a die in and do a quick run. I've been having the die handle, and you've got to make sure that nothing hits it, and if you're hanging onto it, or you have the lever come down on your bed, or not on the bed, on your carrier, and yeah, I've got to put a bit of wood there, and then once you've only got a bit of wood there and it's turning here, well, it wants to kick up and go all over the place. So anyway, look, I thought I'd try that. We'll see how that goes. I got a Sparex order in through the week, and believe it or not, in my shed here, I just sold a business that sold hundreds and thousands of top link pins. I run out of bloody top link pins in my shed, and so I put an order in with Sparex, and I've got a couple of different size ones just for bits and pieces. They're the main ones I use here, the Cat 1s. They're not for sale or nothing, they're just for that. Did you know that Sparex have these little self-locking carabiners? Now, on all my tent poles and things like that, they have an eye at the end of them, and I usually put these on, so when I go camping I can just go around something and click it back onto itself. Just a quick thing, and I was ready to go downtown and buy some, and I was putting my Sparex order in, and I saw them there, so I've got a few of those. I have Jackson Kemp. He's making a jib for our forklift here, and the jib is so, sometimes you can't get the gantry in or the crane, or you want to be down the paddock and you don't really want to put a sling around a fork where it can slide. So we're getting a proper jib that slides onto the forks and gets chained back, and just so we can use a proper hook with a safety hook. So I got this in the other day, so that's the forklift's 2.5, but I did overkill on the hook. I think that's 3.15 metric tons. So, and it's a safety hook, so so as the load comes on, any load goes on here, it just locks down, and it's just a heavy duty one instead of the little tin flap that comes up. So I've got that here for when Jackson's done that. I've asked him not to paint it. I'll get it up here. I've got paint and shit everywhere up here, so I'll supply this, and we're going to put a 30mm pin through, so he's going to put a 30mm hole through the ears to hold this, and I'll supply the pin. So if I can do that, no worries. So that was good. Pardon me. On the Massey 20, the industrial tractor, I've been doing the slashing on it, and look, I hate the seat. The seat slops around, and look, it's an older seat that I painted up, but I don't know, I just don't like it. So talking to Sparex through the week, I've ordered a Sparex suspension seat for it, one of those wrap-around type seats. They just wrap around a little bit. They're only cheap, and I have them on quite a few things. On my trekking tractor now, I have a Sparex wrap-around seat. So I've got a seat there. When the Sparex order come in the other day, I have a brand new seat there, and I have to assemble it. But Sparex have these seat covers, and look, they're a canvassy type, I'd say they would. And look, this is part number S71887, and I put these, I've got one of these similar on the forklift to suit a forklift seat. This is one to suit a wraparound seat. And the seats that you buy, well, just about any seat you buy now has got a vinyl finish on it. And look, to be honest, when you've got them out in the weather, they don't seem to last all that long. So I got a black one. You can get them grey and blue and all that. So I got a black one for that tractor, and I find it makes your seat last a lot longer. Keeps the weather off. You can replace one of these for like $50 or something like that, and they're just a black canvas type material. And they have elastic on the bottom, and they just sit over your seat. So I'll show you that when I've got it done. You can buy them in grey, green, black, blue, all sorts of colours. So, but the Sansa Massey 20 is black and yellow. The seat's black, so I've got a black one. So the trouble with putting suspension seats on Massey Ferguson's is where the draft spring comes up at the back, sometimes you can't get the seats back far enough to get good leg room and that. So you've got to space them up and bring them back a little bit or something like that. So it'll be all right for Jude, but I've got my fuel tank in the road here, my beer barrel, and I find, and I'm 6'2", and I have trouble with leg room, and that's part of the problem with that genuine Massey seat on the tractor. Is I always feel on the 135s, I always feel a bit cramped up, and so on the trekking tractor I put that bracket under the seat and put a suspension seat and brought it back and up a little bit, and that gave me the foot room that I needed, that I could be comfortable sitting there for a while and have a suspension seat to take the jarring out. So I have to assemble the seat yet. It's still in the box as it came. And look, they're all assembled, you just got to bolt the cushions on, and they do that just to flat pack them. So I've got that there to put together. That'll be the next day or two. But I may have to make a bracket underneath, like I say, to get it back far enough. They do have a slide fore and aft, you know, front and back. You can pull the lever and slide them forwards and backwards. But even right on the back setting, by the time it hits that, where that draft spring comes up, I find I haven't got enough leg room in there. So I'm going to do that. Then when Jude hops on, she can just slide it forward and it'll be right for her. But God, it's a lovely, lovely little tractor to drive. While we're playing with that, I was looking at it the other day, and we've just put a new grille and new headlights and all that in, and Jude's a cautious driver, but I thought, you know, I always thought it would look nice with a front weight mount on it, which could act as a bumper bar, as a safety thing. So that's what we have here. So it's the wrong bloody colour, it's a dark grey, but this one, I'm going to get one perhaps next month or something. I'll get one for the 135 as well, because it's got a bent axle and they have a different weight frame. But this weight frame here, oh, she's a big heavy bugger. I'm gonna roughen this up, give it a quick sand, paint it black to, well, I could paint it yellow, it doesn't matter. But I have a can of black paint that needs using, I know, so black it will be probably. And I'll put this on the front of the tractor. They're just a bolt-on thing. I'm not going to put weights on, but on this centre mounting pin here, that you can't even see me doing that, this hole here. Yep, you can see it. Look, that looks to be 1.1 inch, something like that, Cat 2 maybe. I'm going to put a pin there permanently, just so if I need to hook a chain up to drag something back or something like that, I've got a pin and I'm not chasing around looking for one. So, yeah, so, you know when I said that Massey Ferguson 20 was finished? Well, it sort of was. But yeah, I'm going to upgrade the seat because I didn't like the seat, and I'm going to put this on. I just think it's a good thing, a little bit more weight on the front. I still haven't changed the front wheels. Now I've got the standard wheels which are all pitted and bashed and the tyres are shitty and all that on them, but I do have a brand new set of rims painted over the back there and a set of tyres to go on it. But I thought, oh bugger, I'll just drive it around as it is for the moment while I'm doing slashing and things, and just make sure there's nothing else needs doing. But anyway, this is going on there, so put that down there. I went shopping. Those who watch the channel won't be surprised at all. I found a couple of other things to buy, and when I say the Massey 20 is finished, it's got a downswept exhaust on it, and someone's put a car muffler on it, and they've put the pipe on the outside, so the pipe rubs on the steering arm. And I measured the pipe, and I haven't got anything quite exactly to fit. So the other day, my mates at Renegade Tools, at Trade Tools, they have a 3-piece exhaust tube expander. And these are hardened. I've had a fiddle with them, they're hardened. And I think what I'll do, I'll pop them apart and I'll lubricate those internal threads nicely. And you've got a hole in the end there to put the handle in. And so what that will do for me is, I mean, the pipe that's on there now, I can actually expand it to go on a muffler, but I think I have a muffler with a smaller pipe in it, and I'm going to try and spread that muffler a bit to go over the thing, because it's a nice round one. It's not a hot dog, but it's just a round type muffler under the foot plate there. So they had these on special at Trade Tools in Bundaberg here. I watch their weekly specials. They just send them to me, email them to me, I suppose. And $34. So yeah, you don't expect them to, be Rolls Royce quality, but for Lance in the shed with his tractor, I'm sure they'll be good. And the other thing they had on special that I decided I had to have was they actually had a kit, and those are pullers and all that for tie rod ends and things like that. So in the past I've often, and you know, Pitman arm pullers, this is a big Pitman arm puller. In the past on the Massies and that, sometimes they're bloody hard to get off you there with the oxy and all that, and I've sort of never, I've had one of these and I have one of those. I've never had one of these, and this or that, or a little fella of them. This would probably be Fergie size, I'd say. So in their weekly specials they had that as well. So I think that was 59 bucks, I think. And they're like 30% off, things like that. So I bought that, and I just thought that looked, God, bloody shirt sticking to me, looked handy. Yeah, shouldn't be too bad. Mum came out to see us yesterday, and she had her phone in her bag at church, and she left her phone on the chair at church there, left her handbag, and she said when she hopped up to go to the toilet, she saw her phone sticking out a little bit, and she didn't worry about it. And then when she got home later, her phone's not there. And yeah, they looked outside for it and everything, and yeah, look, someone's nicked it in church. Yeah, so she's got to head into town today and get a new phone, and yeah, they were trying to cancel the SIM, and anyway, they rang the phone and someone picked it up and answered, but they didn't say anything. They were just breathing on the other end, you know. And they're saying, you know, can you return this phone, please? And not a word was said. And they, and she was using a friend's phone. And in the end, they tried 2 or 3 times. You know, we're going to the police, can we? And I said, Mum, they got no reason to answer the phone if they've stole your phone. She said, oh, they're not answering the phone now. And I said, well, why would they? They have no reason to answer the phone when they've nicked it. And she said, oh, I've got a few Optus credits on there. And I said, well, yeah, they might use them up, but it's only money, don't go worrying about it. And but yeah, she's you know, 86, 87, and she's sort of rattles him a bit. So she's off into town today to get a new phone and get a new SIM for herself and all that sort of stuff. So it's just a hassle you don't need. Another thing I've got going on is the forklift's had a little noise in it. And look, it's only just started, and it's a throw-out bearing noise. And when you drive along, you can just hear it rattle a bit. So on the end video here, I've pulled the floor out. I've adjusted the clutch right back because as it wore over time, I hadn't touched it much. But we have to remember with this forklift, back in 2013, it went under like a couple of metres of water. And look, it's been going bloody good, really. But now the throw out's getting noisy. So what I've done, I've done a little end video. I'm pulling the floor out, showing you, trying to adjust it, and it doesn't seem to want to adjust right away from the fingers. So on the forklift, where the main shaft goes in, you can undo a circlip and a pin, slide the shaft forward and just lift the whole clutch out. So I've ordered a new throw out bearing through TVH, and it should be here this week sometime. So I've left it together just so if I need to unload. And lucky I did it. I got a pallet from Sparex the other day, and it was 60 kilograms with this weight frame and that on it. And it was just lucky I still had it going, or we would have had trouble getting it off. So I've kept it going. I've got the floor and all out, and the end video is part of that. So yeah, stay tuned for that. It's there. Couple of little videos on what it does and things like that. So anyway, look, I better shut up for the week. You will see another video coming out on the last one of that valve lapping tool. I may even start the other one. Yeah, the sound, I don't know why, if I ever have trouble with something that's sound, and I'm thinking of, yeah, well, I'm thinking of making changes. I'm not sure which way to go. I can put this in the receiver straight to the camera because it all seems to be the Tascam. My old Tascam D70D, I think it might have been, never a worry. Like, it just worked for bloody years. This one here, you've got to press it twice, you've got to fiddle fart around with it, and it's just not the same. But anyway, and I don't know if I didn't press things properly the other day or what went on. We'll just see. But yeah, it looks like it's working now. It's recording. The minutes are going up, the sound's going up, and that's what it looked like the other day, but I just didn't record anything. So anyway, we'll just see what happens. But look, have a great week, everyone. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, we'll just see how we go. Like I say, the end video will probably be a bit on the forklift, and through the week when the part comes, I might just video the whole job, just if anyone's interested. All right, enough from me. We'll catch you later, eh? See ya. Well, we're looking down into the floor well of the Komatsu 2.5 litre forklift I have at home here, and well, this morning I was mucking around with it and it's got a squeal, a little squeak, sounds like the throwout bearing. I'll start it up and I'll see if I can demonstrate the sound for you. So that sounds like something to do with the throwout bearing. So looks like this morning's job is to lift the back, pull this floor plate out here, pull this out, and there is a top cover on the clutch housing. I've been in there a few years back now, and we'll see if we can sort out what it is, if we have to order some parts. Okay. Okay, I have the floor out here. Looks like there's a bolt come loose there. I haven't had this plate here up in many years now. So what are we looking for here? I reckon that looks like about a 13. Yep. I'll just put them down on the step, I think. I can go on the step, this little fella can come out of the way, go over on the floor. Yeah, you can hear the shed creaking. I haven't got the extra microphones and that on today because I'm down in the hole here, so we'll... What do we have going on here? There we go. These have got gaps, so we probably only have to loosen them. Yep. And this one will have to come right out. See, that throwout's riding all the time now. You can just feel it in there. Clutch plate's looking good. Alright, I'll get the camera up and see if I can light that up and show you, but yeah, that throwout bearing, there's no free travel there. Okay, to start this off, we'll get a bit of penetrate here and we'll put on here, we'll put on the pivots over there. And there is a circlip here that holds a pin that you can slide this shaft out of the clutch and actually lift the clutch out. I don't believe we need to do that. I think it's just that we've run out of free travel. Oh, is it the right way? Yes, it is. Keep the light over there a little bit. Oh, there we go. So we'll loosen this back a little bit. And we can actually feel that we can't turn that throw-out bearing. So as the clutch wears, as this plate here wears, the diaphragm, no, it's fingers that comes up higher and higher. So we need to allow for the wear in the clutch plate. I can just turn that. I'll just let it settle. I'll let him go a little bit more. Until that throw-out bearing can be spun by hand easily. So at the moment, whenever we're driving, the throw-out bearing is turning, and that's what the noise is. And when we put pressure on it, the noise shuts up. So we've got to get a blend between having enough pedal movement here. See, we do have pedal free travel there. It's non-adjustable on the slave cylinder down here. Still feels like it's just touching a little bit. I'll give it a start. Okay, it's still making a bit of noise, so it looks like one time, well, we've got little springs here to hold it back, but there's a little bracket there that may have been for holding more tension back against it. But the clutch is still working there. I'll take a bit more. And as the clutch wears, it'll take up this movement again. So the fingers are still just touching that. We'll go a little bit further. I think I might order a new throw-out bearing. If I order a new throw-out bearing, I can undo this clip, pull the pin, slide this shaft back out of the clutch, pull the clutch out, replace the throw-out bearing. I think might be the best way to go long term. Okay, so I think I'll leave it like that. I am going to order, there was plenty of wear on the clutch plate. You can still see, down in there you can still see the wear grooves on it. All the finger adjustments are all still in place. Yep, I think we just need to get ourselves a throwout bearing. I'll see if there's a pilot bearing up in there as well, and yeah, that might do us just for the moment. I'll tighten this up. Actually, I'll bring it back just a little bit, I think. You notice that the clutch that time didn't release so quick. I'll tighten this up. Just make sure the clutch works. That is a lot better, but I think what we'll do is we'll order a new throwout bearing. If we order a throwout bearing now, before it seizes and tears all the fingers out and that, we may just get away with the throwout bearing only. And that should get us back on the road again. So there you go, that's all we'll show on this one today. Yeah, but it hasn't had any brake leaks, clutch leaks, anything like that that I'm aware of. So that's the clutch cylinder here, and it's still full. Everything's looking pretty good. Must remember that this whole clutch, it went under in the 2013 flood, and the whole forklift was under in the water. So since then we've had it apart, and we've done a few bits and pieces to it. There's a bolt coming loose here. We might put that fella back in a bit tighter. Poor old thing, it doesn't get much love in it. It's just one of those things you just hop on and unload a truck, or hop on and shift this and hop on and shift that, and yeah, you don't actually spend that much time on it really. Well, not on maintenance. Yeah, that bolt there was on its way out, so. Okay, that's where we used to have the reverse and beeper wire. We don't have that on it anymore, it's just for around home here. We don't normally take it anywhere, the old girl, so everything else is looking okay. But I will ring up, I'll order that throwout bearing, and yeah, look, I'll show you when I do it, and we'll pull the whole clutch out for a look then, but I don't think we'll have any troubles.